Okay guys, welcome back to the Chinese Mini X project. We're adding a fan today, after we did the root rake of course. I'm going to get my calipers out and we're going to make some better bolts. There's another place I stopped at, I got gas and found out they have like a crap ton of bolts. Excuse me. So I'm going to go there, I'm going to bring the bolt, I'm going to mic it and get one that's even closer. So this is what I got from eBay. And I took it apart. Original thought was to mount it onto here, the door. Not the door, but the door's there, panel's there. Now, if I had a lot of time and all that, we could build a nice little bracket to fit there, but that's gonna take a while. So what I came up with is I'm gonna drill 4 holes, and then it has these little ends on it, which I've already lost one again. Oh, there it is. And then we're just gonna put it up in here, back in here, and then we're just gonna bolt it in there. These things are kind of annoying, so I may end up having to epoxy them. Let me get that off there. I got an inline fuse we're gonna run, which our wires can run down through there. I gotta take the floor plate off. For now, I'm gonna tie it into the light switch. I have a switch, but I'm gonna have to like take that orange thing off, cut that front, make the switch thing. It's just gonna be a hassle for now, but I need to get working because it's my weekend off work. So this is just gonna mount in here, right up in there. It's gonna be bolted in, wired in, and should most likely it's gonna pull air in and push it out the other way. Because I think that's how it's meant to sit on a radiator. So it'd pull air through it, possibly, but putting it this way is not gonna fit good. Actually, it may, because the way the blades are shaped, I think it goes this way, and I would pull air in, right? No, pull air out. Yeah, it's gonna pull it and push it this way. So we're not sure, but I got the holes drilled. I went to the hardware store, got some bolts, 1/4-inch bolts. It fits fairly decent. Haven't got this one drilled yet. I got to take this panel off, of course, to get to it, which I hope it's not too... maybe I can kind of drill it. We'll see, or maybe I'll just put 3 bolts. But then we got to take this panel off the floorboard, where we can fish our wire, and we're also got to loosen this. So. Right now I got my lunch on the tailgate, so I'm gonna eat my lunch and I'll get back to you guys when I get the fan. I will just bolt the fan in and we'll get the panel off and everything and check it out. But it's always it's a little project. I think the fan was 40 bucks, $44. I mean, it came with a thermostat, relay, all that stuff. I'm not too worried about that right now. If you wanted, you could, I'm not sure what you hook the thermostat to. You'd have to put the little temperature probe on, I don't know, hydraulic motor, maybe the head of the piston where it's hot. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the light switch on because it's hot right now, so I'd probably just run it. Because we're going to be out in the sun. It's probably almost 80, 85 out here. So, and last time I think I ran it was around that, and I ran for about an hour before it overheated. Now right now you could probably run it just like that, even if you took the other side off, but kind of looks poopy that way, and I don't want that. So. We're also going to get a hydraulic filter. There is the tank, and there's a line that goes to the motor. So I'm thinking about this coming right off, putting the filter right there, and then just have that go into the, well, we'll have to extend it. So, possible. I mean, there's a metal strut we can come off and make a little bracket for it and put it down over here. I've seen someone mount it all the way up over here, but your exhaust is right here and that's gonna be super hot. So if I keep it down in here, it'd be out of the way and maybe be a little cooler. And they would filter it before it goes into the pump. I mean, I guess you could filter it after the pump, but I prefer to before the pump. So I'll have to figure that little line out. That's further down the road a little bit. Sorry, it's been a long week and now it's, you know, the weekend. So let me get it eaten and we'll get the fan bolted in and we'll check back. Okay guys, after several trips to the hardware store, broken drill bit. And then the wrong size bolts, and we had to drill a little more. This is what we got. Now the standoffs, you see the standoffs for the cover are out pretty good. So we shouldn't miss that. I kind of set it up there and looked, looks pretty decent. The only bad thing is I don't like, these little clips are kind of dumb. So I might put some epoxy or something in there. I don't know, we'll have to figure that part out. But I got the wires. I assume they got blue and black. I don't know. It doesn't have a wiring diagram, so normally, I guess black would be ground normally. Maybe blue hot. But it's hard to tell because, you know, Japanese one or the Chinese ones here, they got a green wire going to the hot terminal. Car wiring is a lot different. I don't really do car wiring and things. But if you look in here, the starter, there's yellow, brown, blue, red. I mean, it seems to make no rhyme or reason. But I have the two wires. What I'll do is I'll just, I guess, hook it to the battery and see which one is which. I did put an inline fuse in. I just put a 20 amp inline fuse. Just in case something goes haywire, we'll just pop the fuse and not melt something. So now I'm going to put the cover back on, because I'm trying to clean up as I go, which if you look around, there's a bit of a mess, but we're getting there. Got that on. The bucket, the thing, I'm not happy with the pins, so I'm going to get my mic out and we're going to mic the other pins and go to the bigger bolt store and see if we can find one that's real close, because that one you can bang it around and I don't want it messing up the bearing surface. So the next step is I got to take this cover loose, pop that off, which I got to figure out what in the kind of star bits are these things. So I'm going to pop that off and then I'll run my wires to this light switch and we'll just hook it in with the light. And then that'll be good for now until we get time to mark the front and put our switches in. It's a 2 switch and also a USB, 2 USB plugs with an amp meter. Since I do YouTube and stuff, I can plug in my GoPro and things. We can hook it to the boom and things like that, and it's just good to be able to charge stuff up. Speakers, fan, or we can plug a USB fan in for us. Might be able to hook it up somewhere here. We can blow some air. Need to get some airflow for us too, because we overheat. So hopefully this works out. It may not be a very good one. It does say 80 watt. I hope it ain't 80 watt. Maybe that's where it maxes out. Car guys know, let me know if it has to have 80 watts, because that's a beefy fan for that. So, let me get these stripped back. The battery's right over in that little corner. And we'll see if I got it right, and I'll get this cover on and I'll get back to you. Oh yeah, I tried to mount, like I said, I tried to mount it to that cover. I mean, if you got time you can build yourself a bracket, but you know, it's tubing. I mean, if I did screw up I can weld that shut and grind it if I want. I mean, it's no big deal. It's pretty much your seat. There's no, I mean, if you roll this over, you're gonna be in trouble anyway. So it's basically your seat and your side panel bracket. That's about it. So if we have to, we may get a little fan. Maybe for the winter time, we can put a little fan in that square door where it pulls the heat out to our feet. But I know when I was running it for that little while, this metal cup holder, if you go watch the live stream, man, this whole thing was, I mean, hot. You could barely touch this cup holder. It was hot. So, and a little airflow will help. And if you can't afford a fan right now, just take your cover off. You know, it'll get more airflow. Let me get back to it. Okay, guys, let me save you a little time. You do not need to take this off. This is a battery disconnect, pretty much. It's right here. So if you can see it, that little silver thing. The ground comes to here, and you turn the switch off, it clicks off, and the ground cuts off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire my battery and my ground to this side. So when the switch is off, the fan is off. When I turn the switch on, it comes on. That's the easy way for now. This one actually has an extra switch spot if you can find what switch this is, and you can pop this plate out and put another switch in. In the future, I'm probably just going to pull me a hot wire off the battery and then a neutral wire off of this disconnect. The frame is grounded. You can, hook a ground wire to it and then the positive, but it's always going to be on unless you do your switch. It took me a minute, not too long, but then I'm also looking at this battery, like, how the hell do you get this battery out of here? This is welded, that's welded. I guess out the side plate, hopefully. Which is a decent sized battery. We'll probably go with one of them big gel batteries later. But there's another spot to mount the hydraulic filter up in there somewhere. It does have a metal hydraulic tank, which is nice. Got my covers back on. Fans up in there out of the way. I got the cable strapped out of the way. So the door kind of drives me crazy because I got shut that time. But that's how I'm going to do the fan for now until I get the switches wired. Then, like I said, I'll pull a ground off of that disconnect and hot off the battery, and then it'll disconnect everything when you turn the key off, which is neat. Sorry for the kind of rush video. It's super hot out, and I'm working out here in the sun trying to get this done, buttoned up, and I need to get up and clear a little bit of the fence line area. And later on today I need to run to the hardware store. I need to mic them pins and see if I can find a closer bolt, which is the problem with that. Kind of getting off a different topic, but if you're watching this video, you're probably going to be doing the same thing. The next size bolt up is going to be a little big for these. So I'll probably have to take the grinder and flatten the flats down more so it'll fit in. Because my guess, the next size, it's going to be the next size up. She said she had a bunch of metrics too, so maybe metric. But usually the bigger the shank, the bigger the head. So I'm going to say I'm going to have to grind the flats on that and make it fit. But it has a bit of a slop back and forth, and I don't want it to beat out the bearings in there, and I hate to have to beat them out and find new bearings or get some made. So for now it'll do all right. I'm gonna take it easy, and then later on today I'll run and get that. I'm gonna button this up and get to work. I clean this up, freaking mess. But thanks for watching my other video, and do like and subscribe. Let me know what your plans are for this. My next plan is the fuel tank, most likely. Take that one out of the bottom and run me a bigger fuel tank. Be a bigger fuel tank, and it'll be out in the open, where it should be able to vent a little better, cool, instead of being pinned up in there. So that's about it. I'm probably gonna add a light kit, like a light bar. I don't know. I don't really plan on working at night, but you never know. And then probably maybe a couple little 12-volt fans, maybe 1 and 2. We blow down on you, kind of help, because when it hits 100 here, it's gonna be hot sitting on that thing, sitting over top of a motor. Alright guys, catch you later.